They always said the land was everything, that without it, a man was nothing, just dust, drifting wherever the wind took him. That morning, standing among the crowd, I understood what they meant, because the land was being sold. And once the words left the auctioneer's mouth, once the gravel struck, and once the ink dried on the papers, it would be gone. Not just the farm, not just the house, but the history, the sweat, the generations, everything. The auction was held at the fairgrounds. The bleachers creaked under the weight of the crowd. Old farmers, their hats pulled low. Families clutching children close. Young men leaning against the rails, their faces tight, pretending not to care. But everyone cared, because everyone knew what happened today would happen to them sooner or later. The corporations had been circling for years, buying up parcels, swallowing them whole, and fencing them off. One by one, the family farms disappeared, and now it was our turn. The auctioneer stood on the stage in a crisp suit, his tie gleaming and his shoes polished. His voice rang through the loudspeaker. He was sharp and fast. Every syllable was practiced. He wasn't from here. You could hear it in his accent. It was smooth and flat, no trace of the hills or the valleys. To him, this was just another sell, another property, another line on the ledger. But to us, it was a funeral. He called out the first lot, 40 acres north of the creek. The soil dark and fertile, land that had once fed us, and the bidding began. They sat together in the front row, men in pressed shirts, women in blazers, tablets on their laps. They didn't look at the land descriptions because they didn't need to. They already knew what they wanted. Their bids were calm and deliberate. 50,000, 60, 70, numbers that no other farmer could match. And one by one, the hands of the neighbors dropped, and one by one, the corporations nodded and collected their parcels. I watched our neighbor James, the old man from down the road. His hands shook as he raised his card, just once. All he wanted was a 10-acre strip where his wife had planted her orchard. But he didn't last long at all. The corporations doubled his bid in a blink. James lowered his hand. His shoulders slumped. His orchard would be theirs now. His wife was buried under those trees. But that didn't matter now. Not here. My son tugged at my sleeve. "Why are they taking it?" he whispered. I didn't answer. My daughter leaned against her mother, wide-eyed. She didn't understand the numbers, the bids, the gravel, but she understood the faces of defeat, the faces of shame. Children learn much quicker than we think. As the parcels went up one by one, my mind drifted. I saw my father years ago walking these same fields, his boots heavy with mud, his hands calloused, his voice steady as he told me, "This land will be yours one day, yours to care for and yours to keep." I saw my mother hanging laundry on the line, white sheets snapping in the wind, the smell of bread drifting from the kitchen window. Her laughter carried across the yard. I saw neighbors gathering in the barn for harvest suppers, fiddles playing, lanterns glowing, the air thick with smoke and song, all of it being auctioned away in neat parcels, described in dry words, erased with one swing of a gavel. When our farm came up, the crowd shifted. People leaned forward, some out of pity, others out of curiosity, some just to see how quickly it would go. The auctioneer read the description: 160 acres with farmhouse, outbuildings, and creek access. Excellent potential for development. That word, development, cut deep. He didn't say the barn was built by my grandfather's hands. He didn't say the house had sheltered 4 generations. He didn't say the soil had been turned by mule, by tractor, and by sweat. He just said potential, and then he opened the bidding. I raised my hand. I knew it was foolish. I didn't even have the money, but I had to try. My voice shook as I named my price, and for a moment there was silence. Then one of the corporates lifted her hand. Her bid was double mine, and the crowd stirred. I raised mine again, higher this time. She countered without hesitation. Back and forth we went, my hands trembling and my heart pounding. Every number I spoke felt like blood draining from my veins. Every number she spoke was effortless, casual, and inevitable. And finally, I stopped. I couldn't go any higher, and the gavel fell. Our farm was theirs. The corporations, or the corporates, didn't even look at us. They didn't need to. Their eyes were already on the next parcel, the next prize. Neighbors avoided my gaze, some with shame, others with relief that it wasn't them, at least not yet. My wife gripped my arm. Her eyes were dry, but her jaw was set. She was stronger than me, always. The children sat silent. The auctioneer cleared his throat and moved on. The sale had to continue, as if nothing had happened. But something had. Everything had. When the auction ended, the corporates gathered their papers. Their deals were signed. They shook hands with the auctioneer and with each other, and the farmers drifted away in silence. Some cursed under their breath. Some wept. Most just walked away, their heads hanging low, their boots dragging. It felt like leaving a funeral without flowers or without prayer, the death of something too large to name. I found James by the fence, staring out at the horizon, with his hat in his hands and his shoulders hunched. "They don't want us here anymore," he said. His voice was low and rough. "They never did." He spat in the dust. His spit dried before it hit the ground. "We're ghosts now." Driving home, the children asked what would happen next. Would we still live on the farm? Would we still plant crops? Would we still belong here? I had no answers for any of their questions, only the image of the gavel striking the wood again and again, until all that was left of us was silence. And this is how it began. Not with fire, not with war, not with thunder, but with a cell, with numbers on a page, with men and women who spoke smooth words and smiled polished smiles, who never once touched the soil they bought, and with us standing there, powerless, watching the land slip away from our fingertips, the land that made us, the land that would now unmake us. The auction was not just a sell, it was the sound of a people being erased, one gavel strike at a time.